Back to Clearwater, to the picket being held by the former Scientologists. This is Frank Oliver. He was an agent of the Secret Service of Scientology, OSA for short.
That was me addressing a member of Scientology's Office of Special Affairs, probably, trying to get a picture of me as a former member of the office.
By 1996, the Munich state attorney had already found out that Scientology used undercover intelligence methods as defense against inner and external enemies, and that it would not stop at criminal actions.
The Office of Special Affairs is set up in Scientology with two purposes in mind. One is the Office of Special Affairs to handle PR, and the other is investigation. One works hand in hand with the other. Where there are areas that the church believes are detrimental to society, for example, in the areas of psychiatry, in the areas of the IRS, abuse maybe, Scientology sets up their investigative machine to work and then uses the information that they garner from that with their PR machine that they have, which is what they go out and they try and publicize this information. Now, it's not for the purpose of the general good of the populace. It's very self-serving.
This document clearly shows what assignments are waiting for OSA agents: infiltration, bribery, buying information, robbery, blackmail.
The investigations person, you hardly ever see them. They're the ones in the shadows finding out the dirt on everyone and everything. Critics, and bringing that to the PR so the PR can use it to make Scientology look good and to make them look, the other person look bad. Right. So that's how it works. They work with each other.
OSA is also involved in monitoring telephones. We have a list of telephone numbers called from a public telephone booth in Miami. The assignment was to observe these booths in order to investigate the callers.
They had so many projects going on at the time that my main purpose for being there was to be in the CAN unit, but they would pull me out of that room and put me on other related projects to, you know, move them along a little bit. I remember sitting in a room and having to go through a printout of someone's phone bill and find out who all the phone numbers belong to. I don't know how I got a copy of someone's private phone bill.
Perhaps by burglary? A training document for Scientology agents, which was confiscated by the FBI, shows that the organization will not stop at burglary. Along with exact descriptions how to break through door locks and even safes is covered. Pull your prepared metal strip from the lower end of the door to the strike plate of the lock and the door pops open. If you have problems inserting it, use your foot to hold the door open a crack.
Your top guy is Mike Rinder. He's the executive director of the Office of Special Affairs. He knows everything that's going on, and above him is David Miscavige. Everything goes from him to him, directly.
Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles. Workplace of Mike Rinder and gathering point for OSA. This is where the information is evaluated and prepared for further action. That not only includes Germany, Scientology's declared arch-enemy, but also the Federal German Ministry for Family, Youth and Health. The method of operation against the enemy and the goal of the OSA agents is that one learns all his plans for the future and uses the material gathered either to bring him to court or to discredit him so that no one longer believes his statements.
OSA is his, you know, that's his number one thing right now. That's what he has to have in place. If not, Scientology would have been gone long ago.
So OSA keeps Scientology alive?
Absolutely.
You are blocking us, you are arresting us. You are not allowed to block us, you know?
They have refused to
You're
leave.
blocking us.
Nobody is blocking you.
You're blocking us.
Fine! I'm placing you under citizen's arrest right now.
OSA in action. We wanted to go to Happy Valley to see Whitkey H. However, our drive was stopped short by a roadblock. We were held up for over 2 hours on the open road, scolded, yelled at, threatened. There was no way out. What or whom were they concealing there? Many questions remain unanswered.
You're asked to do things that are illegal. You're asked to do criminal things, you know, in your position. And then pretty soon, you know, you're doing it, everyone else is doing it. It's like part of the job. If you want to be in this position, then you have to start doing these types of criminal activities. And since everyone does it, now everyone is culpable, so everybody keeps quiet about it. No one talks about it. As I said earlier, the people, the hierarchy of Scientology does not practice Scientology as it is written in some of those bulletins.
The entire organization at the top of Scientology is completely corrupt. They find it laughable that people lower down in Scientology believe all this stuff.
I never wanted to be like the others. I always wanted to be different. Then I met people here who wanted to be the best of the world. They wanted to help other people.
For what I have seen for myself, I know that it's the right place for me to be. And I know that we are dealing with the truth.
They are not only in possession of the truth, they have also their own mobile security troops. The Scientology sheriffs dress like police and follow you around step by step.
So it's private property. Could I ask you to leave?
It doesn't say private property.
As Hubbard said, true is what is true for you. He also thought that they were the only people on Earth who have the right to punish. According to whose rules? According to Hubbard's rules, which are still rigidly kept today, 14 years after his death. Even children cannot escape these regulations. They are made tractable with psychological methods in their education into Sea Org members. Over and over again, they are subjected to the same security questions. Has someone ordered you not to tell us something? Do you have a secret? Have you ever taken something which does not belong to you? Have you ever hurt yourself to cause others anxiety? Have you ever done something which you have had to be ashamed of? Have you ever done anything criminal? Have you ever knocked down a smaller child? Have you ever been ashamed of your parents? Have you ever betrayed a secret which was entrusted to you? Have you ever been a coward? Have you spied on your friends? Correct answers mean happy faces. But the fun stops for these children with failure and disobedience. By 1976, on instructions from Hubbard, the first children's RPF was established in Los Angeles. No time off for play, but a children's prison camp with absolute obedience as its goal. One of the reasons for the camp for children was stated in this document. Make it clear to the children that any form of vandalism, theft and any other crime committed by a child will be punished by the RPF under aggravated conditions.
I knew that rather than Scientology being the answer and healing people and giving them greater abilities and making them better humans, it was completely abusive and had no other purpose than to dominate and control people and make buckets of money.
When you look exactly at what is going on, you see a reactionary authoritarian mechanism which restricts certain degrees of liberties. When it is understood that something is permissible, then it may be done. However, I don't accept that they do that for everybody else. And to make this dependent upon a Scientology citizenship, this is written explicitly in their Scientology code. whether one is a Scientologist and this gives them the right to re-educate people in their own rehabilitation camps and so on. We have had that before, and that does not belong here. The question I've asked many times over, because of course I've got calls from a lot of people telling me my sister is doing quite poorly now and she has to work hard there. I don't doubt that at all. When she's doing that voluntarily, then that is her business. If I now go in there and get involved, am I helping her? Am I hurting her? Or am I only helping myself? 4 months later, February 1999, Jochen Körner flew to Los Angeles to see his sister Wiebke again after almost 4 years. They met at a small restaurant in Hollywood. Later they went for a walk along the beach. That evening she rode with her Scientology bus back to the world headquarters in Gilman Hot Springs. Now she's a producer there for Scientology recruitment films. She said she did not want to talk over her time in the prison camp with her brother. She does not want to go back to Germany anymore. Madrid, February 5th, 1999. The Spanish state attorney brought charges against 18 leading members of the Scientology organization. The charges include establishment of a criminal association, fraud, burglary, grievous bodily harm, and mistreatment of a Spanish woman in the Scientology prison camp in Copenhagen. The trial begins in the year 2000.